Welcome everyone. This is the All In FPL show. We are back with another cracker for you. As ever, I am joined by my partners in crime. First of all, Doyle, how are you?
Good, thanks, JD. How are you doing?
Very good, thanks. Very good. Started off awful in FPL this week. I was in disarray, but I managed to claw my way back. Stepped off the ledge, and I'm just about comfortable with how I've done now, so that's okay. But yeah, and also we are joined by the man himself, the money man, richest man on the planet, Joshua Waldridge. How are you, Josh?
I'm good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Not too bad. Always delighted to be in the presence of such fantasy royalty, fan team champion, and all that.
Not sure how knowledgeable I'll be today, but let's give it a go anyway.
How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was good, mate. Me and Doyle were actually in Barcelona this weekend, which is an absolutely lovely city. Yeah, it was.
I'm sure you explored all the crappy bars rather than the architecture.
Yeah, I mean, I think Doyle tried to go into some of the some of the famous places, but you were rejected at the door a few times, weren't you, Doyle?
Yeah, they wouldn't let the likes of me in, so yeah, got turned away.
Can't blame them. Can't blame them.
No.
I'm on a bit of a detox though now, JB. So
Okay.
I'm locking myself in a cupboard until I do well on FPL, win a poker tournament, or do well on the NFL. So we're going to open a market to see how long till I get let out.
I hope you stocked up on lots of cans and stuff.
Yeah, I've been eating well.
Beans and spam and whatnot.
I'm having
Been there a
chicken
while.
dippers. Yeah, you're gone, mate. You right?
You could be in there a while.
Yeah. I'm having chicken dipper sandwiches passed through the letterbox in the room, so it's all right. I'm staying nutritionally balanced.
That's what we like to hear. Anyway, right, coming in. People have had enough of your chicken dippers and turkey dinosaurs. Doyle, what have we got lined up today?
Well, it's quite a tight show today, so I think we're going to skip the game week review this week. I don't think there's any need for it. So we'll move straight into a hot topic. We'll be talking about the budget mids, and then going on to we're doing hot or cold or ice and fire to talk
You
about the
can
budget
tell
mids,
we well rehearsed this, can't you?
and then we'll go into the hot topic where we'll be talking about the captaincy rotation.
All that editing I done close season to make it all look good with the graphics and everything. We're still calling it hot or not and like in or out. Fire and ice. Come on, people. We got our segments now. This is a professional show this year.
Yeah, whatever you say. And then we'll preview next game week. Yeah.
Sounds good.
So, should we skip the game week review? Yeah, everyone happy with that? Everyone on board?
Keep the mic, mate. Keep the mic.
I was retiring on Saturday once Salah got them 2 goals from FPL, but yeah, I'm happy to still do it. So come on. Who was the lowest of the pack?
That will be definitely me on 69
Have a look at your
points,
team then.
which was pretty ugly. One of those weeks again. I feel like there's been quite a lot of really high scoring weeks this season, where you feel like you're doing all right, and then it just gets absolutely crushed. I thought I was in a pretty decent position, to be honest with you, going into the last day with triple Spurs, but unfortunately it didn't include the one Spur that mattered, Mr. Son. So a pretty sizable red for me. Johnston in goal, didn't expect much from him, didn't get much. Saliba, 1 pointer, Arsenal didn't turn up. Simicast was the transfer in, which paid off, which is nice. Then a Dogie, that was just a joke, obviously, 54 minutes, yeah. Just ridiculous. Richarlison was great, but couldn't match Son, so no good there. Sterling was crap. Tried to steal the penalty off Cole Palmer, but failed, unfortunately. Though he'd have probably missed, so maybe not a bad thing.
Saved you some points.
Yeah, Salah gets a pen every week, so he's fine. And they just rig matches for Liverpool to win nowadays, so it doesn't really matter. Bruno, season keeper. Darwin, legend. And Haaland did fine. So, yeah, just a bit. Like, you go through that, it seems all right. When you score 69 points, it always seems okay when you look at returns, but then it's a case of what you don't have, I guess.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, lots of the highly owned players went off this week. Really, really strange week it was.
And who did you bring to Simicast in for?
Um,
Rico?
yeah, Rico Henry.
No. Yeah, that's fair enough. Nice transfer.
Yeah, pretty good. Someone who's out for the season. But
I was going to try and like give him some shit, really, but it's actually all right. So
he'd struggled to lose points on that one.
yeah.
Although I'm surprised you didn't. Oh, yeah. Simicast looks a good little hold now. I think he's out for like 10 weeks or something, isn't he? So
It's long enough, isn't it? So yeah,
then you'll get 12 or 13 Premier League games out of that. I think it'll be about till the new year, I think. So
yeah, he'll tick over with a few cleans and stuff. For his price, it's fine, isn't it?
he's a no-brainer for his price. I mean, I think you'd want, as I say, I think mostly you'd want 4 of the 4.5s next to him, to be honest, in defence. But he's just 1 of 5, and they've got really good fixtures, so really good move, yeah.
I would have thought I was next, but it's actually you, Josh, because you'd obviously be in the 100 club, but you made a admin error on your captain. You forgot to change it, or you was messing up. Something happened with the captainship.
I wouldn't be in the 100 club. I'd have maximum 10 extra points, but I would definitely be beating your derriere. I was going to say a swear word, but I'm not going to say that. I'm too polite. Yeah, 84. To be honest, most of my players. I had the same keeper as Doyle, so no good there. But my reserve keeper did rubbish as well. I think you missed the keeper as well, didn't you, JB? I think we all just had a blanking goal, but
I thought he was getting it with Turner, but no, nothing.
Yeah. Other than that, everyone just got like a return, I think. So Cash and Pau Torres blanked. That was a bit annoying because they absolutely battered West Ham, obviously, but 2 points each. That's fine. You know, they've got good fixtures for the next 3 weeks at least. So no worries about selling there. Trent, we call him the double price Simicast, I think. He got 6 points. So
you spend big, you get them big points rolling in. 6-pointer.
Nice for him to match Simicast. I mean, I had to sweat the last half an hour because Simicast went off and Trent was just on there, just waiting for fucking Beto to kick it in or something. I don't know who even plays for Everton anymore. Then, yeah, all my midfielders return. Bruno, Richarlison, captain. Very unlucky again. Could have got more, but the other boys looked really good as well. Tottenham just looked really good in general in attack, I think. So, yeah, no complaints there. I was confident he would start this one, so I went for the captaincy again. Son is brilliant as well. But yeah, Richarlison cap 12, Son 14, Maddison 9, Salah 16, Bruno 7. It's a pretty good midfield. And then Watkins 11, Darwin 4. So
sorry, I love that justification from Richarlison. Yeah, I thought he was going to start again, so obvious captain. Yeah, if he's going to start, got to be the captain.
The thing is, my justification last week, that's what I said it was. On the pod last week, I said, I don't think he's going to start, so I'm not going to captain him again. But then later in the week, I just realised he was definitely going to start. I mean, it was like he had from Wednesday night till Monday night, I think. So, yeah, I just thought he's definitely going to start. He's in their best team, so he's going to play. I'm less sure about Friday night now because they're playing Monday night and Friday night. That seems quite tight when they've got Brennan Johnson's back. You know, there will be a bit of rotation there, I think, at some point. So I'm not as sure that he will start as like that Son and Maddison would start, for example. So yeah, one to think about for this week. But yeah,
I want to think about, you mean the captaincy, right?
I'm waiting to jump in here once he finishes talking.
I've
got a lot of questions coming your way.
I'm weighing up Son versus Richarlison for the captaincy again this week. I mean, I'm still leaning Richarlison, but I could see an argument to captain Son instead. I mean, he seems a reasonable pick.
We might get those team leaks, Josh. It might give you the info you need to cap Richarlison.
We are going to get the team leaks as well, won't we? Probably.
If you had a confirmed team, Josh, because obviously this week it was tricky because you know the team, it wasn't until Monday the game, so you're never going to get a leak. But if you had a confirmed leak that Richarlison was starting, you'd probably triple cap, right?
I mean, yeah, your intuition can only go so far. Like, I mean, I'm never going to just play the triple captainship on him unless I know he's starting, obviously. But if there's a confirmed team, I think I have to captain him, right? So, yeah. we'll see about that one. There's other good captains this week, but I think
is there?
Yeah, I think there's some other options. Yeah. What did you want to say,
I knew
Jamie?
you was on this show for a reason, Josh. I knew you was on this show for a reason.
What did you want to say, JB? Sorry.
Are you done now with your strike?
Just the fold zoom animation in the background from Josh.
It's not.
It is. Oh, it's so good.
Anyway, that's clearly a sign. But right, three main questions. Can I get three? Let's keep it short. You got rid of Haaland because you wanted Salah, and you thought Salah's the one. I'm going to captain him. He's the obvious captain. Why didn't you captain Salah first of all over Richarlison? Any reason, or because I thought this was the whole plan? No.
I mean, I really backed. I obviously had triple Tottenham midfield, so I clearly backed them for these sort of two games, the Luton game and the Fulham game. So I felt like because I had that triple exposure in the attacking positions, I really wanted to captain one of those. And their XGA for all three of them is very, very close to each other. Richarlison obviously has played less minutes, but in terms of expected minutes for the next few weeks, they all get subbed off. So I figured their expected minutes were the same for this game, for example. You know what I mean? Son always goes off on 70. Maddison's been going off on 75. And I thought the odd game, Richarlison might be the one who gets 90, to be honest. As it happens, they all went off, but that might be a good sign that they're sort of being kept fresh, all three, for the next game. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think he does think they're all important. Richarlison just looked clearly, like, to me in the first half, he looked clearly the most involved against Luton. He obviously missed an open goal after 2 minutes. He had another couple of chances. He assisted a good attempt. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just thought taking the low ownership discount, taking a really big swing at it, I thought he was just as good, to be honest, as the other two. So, yeah, lost a few points this week. And Salah was quite fortunate, is the other thing to add. Like, Salah was very fortunate to get so many points this weekend.
Okay, second question, quick. If you're ranking every midfielder in the whole league, right? Son, Maddison are probably in the top 2, 3, 4, okay? Richarlison wouldn't even come in the top 15, I don't think, at the moment. So how could you possibly put Richarlison captain over Son or Maddison, even if you forget Salah? Well, we've done that. But
I like how you said in the top 2, 3, 4. You did leave the space open there for Richarlison.
Richarlison definitely not in. He's in double figures. So, but surely you've got to have Son or Maddison over Richarlison if you're going to captain one of the midfielders. No.
Well, I mean, I think they're all just really good, to be honest. Like, I mean, I think Richarlison is a really, really good option. So, like, I do understand that the group think is that, like,
Richarlison's stats are really, really good.
His stats are always good because he gets involved and then his end product's absolute dog shit. And like this season, he's reminding me so much of Rashford. Like, it's just not falling for him. It's not clicking for him. He's involved, but it's just he's shooting off target. His confidence ain't up. He's seeing a psychiatrist. Like, yeah, I wouldn't be captaining Richarlison if it was me. I feel like that was a massive error. And if the team sheet comes out this week, what we were talking about, this is my next point, and he's not on it, he's on the bench. For me, you've got to sell him, and you've still got him in your team for a start. I mean, he'd be on the chopping block for me. He'd be out of my team already.
Look, 6 points, mate.
What? I don't see that he's so much worse than the other two. Is my question. He plays for the same team. They're very attacking, and I think he's a really, really good footballer. Like. Mm-hmm. Like Rashford is a really good footballer as well. You likened him to him. They're both really good. They might just not be dropping for them at the moment. But Richarlison has hat-trick upside. Like, he could score a hat-trick in a week.
He's also going to be the man. Maddison and Son keep coming off on like 75, 80 minutes, but Richarlison can easily come off on 60 minutes as well. Especially with Brennan Johnson back, I'd be shipping him off straight away if it was me.
Yeah, I mean, Brennan Johnson, you know, he can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play up front as well. So, like, I think he sort of covers all those positions. But I'd be really worried about this Son Maddison thing still, because they come off every single game. Like, it's not like the odd game where it's close, they stay on. They came off against Arsenal when it was 2-2. They came off when they're 1-0 up, you know what I mean, in some games. They come off every single game as well. So I don't buy the X minutes argument. I think Richarlison might have higher X minutes than the other two, honestly. I think he might, because Son is capped at 70 minutes. He never plays after 70 minutes. It's quite an interesting one, but I think all three are good options. Will I sell one of them this week? Probably, because I think having 3 away at Crystal Palace is probably too many, but yeah, we'll see which one it is.
Interesting. We've got to have some bets on this. This has got some legs, this, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Richie in, Richie out. All right, shall I move on to my team quick?
Salah's biggest advocate, you were before week 1, by the way.
Well, I mean, ever since we've been doing it, I mean, all last season, I love Salah. This year, I love Salah. And I took him out on wild card, and he's absolutely spanked me. 2 goals in the last. Well, he scored 2 goals in his last 2 games. A brace in both. And I haven't had him, so it's really hurt me, my overall rank, but slightly got away with it this weekend. The rest of my
what can you buy about him though, right? Like it's that sort of thing. So I wouldn't be too down about it. The budget spread you got from it is probably what contributed to you. So I had Salah, and
yeah, exactly.
Right? Like, so it's what you can afford with. So.
The reason I don't have Salah is because I wanted Trippier and Watkins a couple of weeks ago, so I got them 2 in.
Yeah,
and they delivered the returns. It was just a lot of people captain Salah, which probably hurt more this week, I think. That's why I felt it. But yeah, like I say, Trippier, I got the 10 points from him. He looks brilliant. I'm really pleased I got him. I got Pedro Porro as well, and again, that was another upgrade of having that little bit of extra money from Salah. So again, I didn't go with Udogie and I went with Porro, so that worked out well for me, even though I was a little bit lucky. I think Udogie had a little knock, but he seems like he's fine. I think I just said he had a tight hamstring. Midfield, Bowen, big differential. Not that many people have him, and he's got a great fixture run. He done well. He scored, even though they did get beat 4-1, so I'll take that. Diaz, my man who's covering Salah, obviously. 6 points. Didn't quite work out, but yeah, we'll talk about him a little bit later. I might have him on the chopping block as well now, just where I want to move some stuff around. Son and Maddison, very good. Saved my game week last night. I was really pleased with them. Højlund up front, very disappointing again. For me, he might have to go. He's not massively expensive, but I think he might have been right with the 5 in midfield and 3 up top. All big hitters and not any sort of bench fodder. So I might revert to Archer to get some more money and then splash the cash elsewhere. And then, yeah, Watkins done really well.
So you can get Anthony Gordon starting as well, mate?
Yeah, Gordon and Byrne on the bench. Points everywhere for me, but couldn't get him in the team, so not too worried. Overall, I can't be too disappointed this week. Yeah.
That was really bad, that decision, right?
Which one?
That team structure thing you did with Gordon.
Well, I still like the fact that I've got a really good player first on the bench, and I haven't got much money tied up in him. He's only 5.6. But yeah, the way it's falling now, I think I will probably revert and just more so because Højlund isn't doing the business. So I might look to get rid of him. But I've got so many things I could do if I want. I'm a bit confused, so I need your help later.
Yeah, it's very open. I think mine's. Have you got 2 FTs, JB? Yeah.
I do, yeah.
I've got the same as you. You can do so many things, can't you, this week? It's like...
Yeah, I'm like floating between like burning them and then I'm like trying to take a -8. So I'm going through everything at the moment.
Look forward to that. Let's burn through the other sections then so we can get to that, because we've not got that long and we've already spent half an hour discussing our teams, which was
talking about Richarlison
segment. So yeah. So let's go fire and ice. Segment.
Yeah, we're doing budget mids this week. We literally have to start with the one that JB's already got, I think. Anthony Gordon's definitely returned in both the last 2 weeks, but I think it's gone on a bit longer than that even. I think whenever he's played, he's returned 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's returned 4 of the last 5 weeks. I think he got booked last week, actually. No, he didn't play. Why didn't he play last week?
He was suspended.
Right.
So he's actually returned everywhere.
The last 4 games he's played then, he's returned every game basically, and included in there is a double return as well. So as JB said, he's 5.6, I think. seems a good price, but you've already sort of hinted, Doyle, that I think you'd use him as maybe like a 7th attacker rather than an 8th attacker, maybe, if you were going to have him.
I just think having 8 attackers is just a really bad structural decision in general. Honestly, it doesn't seem to. Well, maybe you can make a case for it, but it'd take a lot of analysis. But yeah, just looking at him now, the fixtures are mixed. He's got Wolves away, which is actually not a good fixture, really. It's okay. Arsenal at home is bad, obviously. Bournemouth away is good. Chelsea at home, United at home, Everton away, Spurs away is a pretty tough run, despite the troubles of some of those teams. But yeah, I just hate him. I hate him. I hate Newcastle. So he's ice for me.
Straight up ice.
Yeah.
Weak, not
mainly
weak.
Because he's left Everton, right? You don't like him because of that.
Predominantly, yeah, he's a little bit of a weasel. I don't like Newcastle the club.
Okay,
so, yeah.
Brilliant FPL advice there for everyone.
They're the underdogs though, Doyle. Every time they play, they're like the ones you got to root for. The
Scrappy Newcastle.
the ones who spent 600 mil in the last 2 years. They're the new Chelsea, or they're like half of Chelsea. But yeah, JB, what do you think about your hero, your lad?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't started him yet, but you can call him my hero if you want. Yeah, I like him. I think he's really good. I think Newcastle at the moment, they're the ones you want a piece of if you can, because they're playing so well attacking football and scoring so many goals. It's really hard with the strikers because you can't really have Wilson or Isak because you don't know who's going to start. But I think Gordon's got that place now and he's playing so well. And with Harvey Barnes out for a month or two, he's going to be starting. I don't think they will be putting anyone else out wide like Joe Linton or anyone like that who could push play there. And like you say, he's returned in nearly every game. I think there's only one game that was like game week 3 where he didn't return last. Scoring, assisting, looks really good. 5.6. I really like him.
Nice, yeah, and I think he is really good. I think if you wanted someone in this price bracket, he's a tough one to beat, I think. So yeah, I'm going fire for this one.
Yeah, fire for me.
Weasel. Too. Yeah. Right, let's do Pedro Neto because he's a very similar price.
His main competition.
I think he's returned in like 3 of the last 3 weeks as well. I think he's returned like each of the last 3 weeks or something. Like no big scores, but he's had like wow, he's returned in the last 7 weeks.
He's fucking amazing.
So, but it's always been one return, I think. I think it's been one every time, it looks like, to me.
He got 2 assists 1 week.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of 4s and 5s. I mean, he must be getting some bookings as well and all sorts. He's getting everything. This guy's filling the box scores. But yeah, looking at their fixtures. Yeah. JB?
You kick us off. Sorry, I'm saying kick us off, Josh.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I mean, the fixtures are mixed here. Newcastle at home can't be a good fixture for an attacker. Sheffield's good. Tottenham's bad. Fulham's okay. Never like playing Fulham away, really. Yeah, so I just think they're so capped, Wolves, and it's shown in his returns, really. I only ever see him getting 1 return in a game. I think that the double return would be a rarity. So I'm a bit on the fence with this one. I'll lean ice, but I can see that he's a reasonable value, I think. What about you, JB?
Yeah, fire for me. I think he's looked really, really good. Watching what I've seen of Wolves, he's been superb. Every time I watch him, he's going past 2-3 players. He hit the bar at the weekend as well, and he still got his assist. Everything I've seen points to me wanting him in my team, especially for 5.8 million. It's just that there is so many midfielders. I think if you do want to go budget in midfield, Neto and Gordon were the 2 I'd be looking at. I chose between them and went Gordon, but if you depending on your team shape, if you wanted 2 of them to afford all the big hitters like Salah, Watkins, Haaland, all of that, nothing wrong with putting them both in. And I think he didn't return in game week 1 or 2, but then since then he's returned every single week. I mean, maybe he ain't going to score 2 goals and get an assist or anything, but for 5.8 million, someone who's like that sort of, he's starting for you, but he's not where you really expect massive returns. I think an assist or a goal every week is fine anyway. So, and I mean, they've got some tough fixtures. They've got Newcastle, then they've got Sheffield United, which is easy. But then they do have Spurs. But then they got an easy one with Fulham. Then they got Arsenal. But then they got Burnley and Forest. So it's kind of like an easy, hard, and a couple of really good fixtures. So there isn't that many easy fixtures that do come around this season, I don't think. So I like him. Yeah, really good. I'd certainly be wanting him in my team.
Doyle better than Gordon?
Yeah, I completely disagree with everything that JB just said, obviously. Does he have pens?
I don't think so. He has taken a pen in the past for them,
I
but
think he might have. He could have pens, right? Who would have them?
he could definitely have
Neves,
pens.
Yeah, it was Neves. I don't know if they've had a pen this season.
Yeah, I'll have a look.
I think there's a chance that he's on. If he's on pens, then maybe. I think he's very capped. If he's not on pens, I think he's too capped. I think the ceiling's not there, like you alluded to, Josh. And I think he's obviously massively overperformed to sort of get those weekly returns from an assist perspective. So I think, like you said, JB, I think he's a good pick in a regular season, but in a season like this where there's so many options, I wouldn't go there.
I think one thing to add is that there's so many cheap defensive options and there's not that many good defenders people want in their teams, with the exception of maybe Trippier. Cash is pretty decent at the moment. That's where you kind of want to be saving money anyway. If it was me personally, I'd rather like getting the likes of Burn, Botman, 4.5s, Tsimikas. There's a few floating around that you can have. Gabriel 4.7 even, and they're still like really good defenders that are quite cheap. So it don't quite make sense to have Neto and Gordon. And even if you got one of them, because you can save so much in defence on players that are just ticking over. There's no one who we're desperate to have. It's not like James or Chilwell season where we want them all. But that's probably the best idea to save money in defence and then go with all the big hitters in midfield. And if you are only getting one return from Neto, that is the issue, that you could have someone a lot more explosive. But he's still a great pick. I still really like him. I think he's playing well. But
well, in your structure, JB, where you got the 8 attackers, you'd obviously do it where you rotate Neto and Gordon, for example. Like that would be that would be the strategy if you were going to have both. I don't think you'd be able to do anything else, right?
Yeah,
so
you have them too, I think. Yeah,
and then you could have Salah, who's
you can have all the other big ones. Yeah.
So like that would be the strategy. I'd still go cheap in defence, as you said. I think that's spot on. I think that's absolutely the clear best strategy, to be honest. But yeah, it wouldn't be an option for Doyle to have both the 5.5 because he wouldn't have anything to spend the money on, because he'd then have an enabler as well. As you know what I mean, it wouldn't work because everyone's too cheap, unfortunately, to cover that. So yeah, and his mate Hwang, we need to talk about now as well. He scored so many goals this season. He seems to they haven't scored many as a team, but his percentage of goals for them is like 40%, I think. So it's whether it's sustainable is a question mark, but you know he is playing very advanced. And they seem to they've got a lot of like flair players. And I don't know if it's like a Gary O'Neill thing, but he's come in and he did it for Bournemouth last year. Like the Bournemouth attackers all did really quite well last year. Like, as we know, super plant man over there. And then we've also got Solanke, who like surpassed all expectations last year as well. So I'm wondering if the likes of Cunha, Hwang, Neto, and like Kaladsnatch, whatever the guy is who's played about 20 minutes but scored 4 goals or whatever it is, whether they can just all have really decent seasons for their price, you know what I mean? So we'll start with you, Doyle. What do you think about Hwang this time?
Yeah, Hwang's more my sort of player. Like, I like guys that have really good stats, that are very explosive, that are a bit more risky in terms of minutes. That's like my sort of, they're my sort of guys, really. I suppose Neto is more safe and will get the minutes, but doesn't have the same explosive returns in him. Yeah, I think Hwang's a really good pick. He's got an XGA 90 of 0.7, which is really strong for the price. So yeah, he's more of my sort of guy rather than Neto.
So you think me and JB are pathetic, basically, is what you're saying? When we like all these 90-minute guys, yeah, it's like you think.
Yeah, you lose a floor players that don't understand how the game works.
Yeah, that's it. What about you, JB? Are you a Hwang or a Neto man?
I'm definitely a Neto man, but Hwang. I mean, you can't knock him really. He's got 5 goals in 9 games, so it's every other game, more than every other game he's scoring. And the 4 games, he didn't even start. He come on as a sub. So he's looking really, really good. He has played a lot more minutes the last 3 games. He's nearly lasted the whole game. And he's more of a striker than a midfielder anyway. I was surprised at the beginning of the season he was listed as a midfielder. It was only the last couple of weeks when everyone started noticing how well he's been playing that he was a midfielder. But again, it's a bit of a problem because there's so many midfielders. So yeah, I'd definitely be going for more secure starts with Neto. And I just think Neto he's been phenomenal when you're watching him as well. So, and he's mainly, Neto is the one providing these chances as well, he's assisting Hejan. So, yeah.
So you want half the points essentially? Is that what you're saying there? He's the one assisting each chance. So you just want the 3 points instead of the 5 points.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the quality of the points, not the quantity of the points.
It's going to be like my team from last year where I had the 4.5 mids or whatever it was. JB wants Neto, bit of Hwang, but not really. And then loads of Anthony Gordon. And then we haven't even said the best one. Yeah. I mean, so let's sum up Hwang first and then I'll have
ice for Hwang.
Doyle is super fire, yeah. I will go ice. Yeah. But I really hate Wolves.
No one's bringing in Hwang in there, to be honest.
That is a personal bias, unfortunately. I really hate Wolves. Yeah.
Just because JB said that, I'm bringing Hwang in right on the.
If anyone brings in Hwang rather than Neto or Gordon, honestly, please stop playing the game.
So, as an option, I think Cole Palmer's better than all these. Like, I really do. I think he's cheaper. He's got penalties, and he just looks absolutely sensational at the moment. Now, the fixtures aren't good, but I don't think the fixtures are great for any of these options that we've talked about so far. I just think for his price with the penalties, it's really hard to overlook that. And I think he might become a bit of a game breaker pretty soon, I think, the way it's going.
No brainer, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, so their fixtures go really good in week 16, which conveniently is when I need to get Haaland back for. So I'm thinking it's going to be a compulsory Cole Palmer and Haaland in for 2 other players in my team. And I think there's loads of combos that would work with, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm really excited to get both at the same time.
Given the price, I don't think the fixtures even matter that much really. He's just so cheap that I think you can do it now. Take the bad fixtures and
yeah, I'm in the qualm at the moment, similar to why I'm struggling to get Tsimikas in, because it's either I have Tsimikas plus the 3.5 sitting in the bank, or I just keep Trent. You know what I mean? Like I've already got Trent, so I'm in a bit of a pickle. It's the same with Palmer. I would rather have Bruno right now, plus with no money in the bank, rather than Palmer with the money in the bank. So I'm not going to use it at the moment. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I can't see any possible place where you might be using money, to be honest with you. I don't see any striker spot that could potentially use that upgrade. I don't see it.
I haven't set off my party popper yet. It's free week this week. No one's going to captain him this week, except Doyle, obviously, because he's stupid.
I will be captaining Haaland this week.
No one else will. He can score whenever he wants this weekend. It's free week. He's under 100% owned. EO, except for dead teams, obviously. But with the people who are playing, he's below 100%. It's absolutely fine this week. He can do what he wants this week. It's
a lot of dead teams at this point, Josh. So we need to be beating them.
We're all. That's one thing we haven't said. We're all about level on points at the moment. We're like, you could throw a paper bag over our 3 scores at the moment. So, yeah. Cole Palmer, JB, this is your area of expertise, I think, with the Chelsea situation. He's been looking good, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. I feel like everything you two have said, though, I've been the opposite tonight. I would probably say ice, which might surprise some people. But yes, he has been playing well and he has looked really, really good. But if you take away the 2 penalties he scored, I'm not sure he'll be delivering. I mean, you're saying like you don't want the 1 assist from Neto or the 1 goal a game from Neto. I don't really see Palmer delivering every single game either without the penalties. And you look at our fixture run from next week, we're away at Spurs, then we've got Man City, then we've got Newcastle away, then we've got Brighton, then we're at Old Trafford against Man United. I don't think we're going to be scoring that many goals, and I don't think we'll be getting that many penalties either. And I just think where we're not going to. I think 16. What's this like in like April? So yeah, I just think if where we're not going to play well, he's going to be swapping a few players around. If Jackson starts up front, for us, then that means that there'll be the two wide places, and it could be Sterling, it could be Mudryk, it could be Palmer. So again, I think that even if Palmer is playing well and he keeps his place, which he deserves at the moment, he will be coming off at like 70 minutes or something like that. I think he's okay for 5 million. I'm not going to put you off getting him for 5 million. I just think I'd rather, if you're going to do that, I would rather have Neto or Gordon. He is good. He's fine. Like if someone brings him in, that's absolutely fine. I just think Gordon or Neto would be better if you can afford it. That's why I'd say Ice.
Jackson was looking absolutely unbelievable before he got banned, to be fair. So I
he looked good in the last game, though. He looked good in the last couple of games. He's looking better.
Yeah, I had him for all the crap, so I'm
yeah,
sure.
I'm not saying he will come straight back in that team, but there's a possibility where that we've got some hard games that he's going to swap it around a little bit.
It is an interesting one. I think it would work. It would work well for now as an 8th attacker with Cole Palmer, I think, and then
work well forever with him. I think it's fine.
But then I think from week 16, which is this holy week where Haaland's got Luton, and I'm trying to think ahead. He could be the perfect enabler to bring in as my 7th attacker. You know what I mean? To like play in the good fixtures. It's a long way away, but I've definitely penciled it in. And I think for his price with the penalties, I mean, you said he's not threatening, but like he could almost be playing in goal for that price with the penalties. Like it's like,
yeah.
I feel like he's just a really good pick, and
he did have another good chance in the last game as well. Like it's not like he won't get any chances, but.
Yeah, like he's quite a lot cheaper than Neto. It's like almost $1 million, to be fair. So it's like it does start to make a difference if money's tight for you. If it's not, you pay for the guy who you think is going to get the most points. But if the money's tight, I think it's a really good option for like 0.8 less specifically. So yeah, 5 for me.
0.6 to Gordon though. I think the 0.6 I'd have Gordon.
We can see that. You've got him as your 8th attacker for now, haven't you? And they're fixed. They are really good. Newcastle are really good. Doyle, what do you think? Fire or Ice? JB, Ice, yeah, you said?
Yeah, I'd say Ice in terms of if you're going to bring him in, I'd look elsewhere.
And then finally, we've got another penalty taker who like is also a box-to-box midfielder. I don't know how this has happened, but Douglas Luiz is like, I think he scored in like a record number of home games for Villa in a row or something like this. It's. Does it feel a bit like Aaron Ramsey or something like that? Does it feel a bit like that? I don't know. It's like, it just feels like a crazy number of goals, but he's also got penalties for a really attacking team. So he seems really good to me, and like really sneaky good as well, because I don't think many others will go there still. Has anyone got any strong thoughts on this one?
Yeah, he's a really, 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 really bad pick. Like, incredibly bad. As a pick, like he's like Granit Xhaka levels bad pick. When he always scores game week 1 every year, everyone brings him in. It's that same sort of vibe. Yeah, he's just not very good. He
does have pens though. It does help.
He does have pens. That does help. I'll just take Cole Palmer's pens instead. His stats are just awful. Like they're just so bad. You take out the pens, it's just abysmal. Like he's not doing anything. Actually, to be fair, his shots per 90 are up quite significantly year on year. But that is probably because he's had 3 penalties or whatever it is. So
he's got 1 or 0 assists, so I can't see him on the assist list. So
no assists, just goals.
Yeah, 5 goals. It's pretty good in 9 games, but yeah, it feels very Ramsey-like to me, where it just like carried on for quite a while, like a bit like when Yaya Toure was a CDM or whatever.
Joe Willock.
Yeah,
Joe Willock was a cam at least, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, Joe Willock 8 in a row, wasn't it, or something? Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know enough about this one, but he's definitely been getting forward more. Because he was a full-on CDM when he played 2 years ago, and he's now definitely getting inside the box. He's always shot from range, but it seems that that's upticking as well. I don't think he can be the worst as an 8th midfielder, honestly, paying a bit more for someone who could really get you like a 10-pointer 1 week, because he's really good at BAPS as well. He gets the BAPS when he scores. So, you know, he might be all right for an 8th mid, I think. Whereas a lot of the others, I have been tempted to sort of discuss them as 7th mids, a 7th attackers, sorry. So yeah.
With the fixtures as well, that's not the worst. It's actually not the worst thing ever. Just he's got Luton.
The fixtures are really good. The next three, aren't they? So, yeah, JB, have you considered him at all? Or
Well, long-time JB followers will clearly know that I talked him up at the beginning of the season as one to watch. 5.5 million. Last season, he done really, really well. I think overall, he was in like the top. It was around about 10th or something for midfielders. It was something silly. You would never have thought it. Just purely because he kept ticking over because he takes free kicks, so he's on penalties, and obviously he gets the odd goal.
You need to find that clip, JB.
Yeah, I'll find it. Don't worry. He's probably finished about 20th or 30th, but yeah, he. Yeah, I do really like him, but he's one of those. He's sort of like a season keeper. You just keep him in your team the whole season, and he'll get a certain amount of points, and he'll probably outplay the 5.5 million that he's worth, I think, but not by a huge amount. And you can probably make bigger gains, especially this year with other midfielders. So I don't even think that that's a reason to get him in at the moment. But one thing they have been doing, Aston Villa, get the ball out wide a lot more. And then when they draw people out wide, Emery's getting the midfielders to go forward, like hence Douglas Luiz going forward, and then they get the ball into him and he's darting into the box trying to take more shots. That he said that's what he's trying to do. So he is actually getting forward more as well. Whether he sustains it, I'm not too sure. They are scoring a lot of goals each game and they are looking very attacking, but I think 5.6 again, I'll go back to my other point. I think if I'm going to get one, I will get an attacker, a more attacking player like Neto or Gordon over Douglas Luiz.
he got 142 points last year. That's absolutely insane. That is like really aggressively high for like someone who you haven't even seen like score a goal last year. I didn't think like I don't actually recall I do recall the free kicks thing that you talked about, JB. So I do remember him pinging a few of those in from
JB followers have been on it for a long time. Don't worry about that. I think he was 5 million last year as well.
He got 16 more points than Billing last year. That's how good of a season he had.
Massive.
He was absolutely flying last year, yeah. He must have beat Mitoma last year because Mitoma kept like missing, didn't he, with all these
honestly, yeah. Douglas Luiz, he finished above like Foden, Grealish, like so many players that people thought was great, and Luiz was above them all.
He beat Mitoma by 4 points last year. Must have crushed.
Say he was 4.5 last year. No, it must have been 5 million, surely. Couldn't have been 5.5.
Yeah, but anyway, he just seems like the sneaky one, the one who's like just done really well.
I can't talk about Douglas Luiz anymore. Can we just cast our votes and move on?
I'm gonna go Ice. I mean, it's just stupid because he's really good, but I'm gonna go Ice because I'll never pick him ever. So, yeah, I'm too much of a dreamer.
Ice for me because of better options elsewhere.
I thought you'd get fire, JB.
No, fire for Gordon, Neto, Ice for.
Okay, I think
Wang and Luiz.
I'm going to take the executive decision here, lads, that we're going to cut the hot topic this week and all people who are waiting for the captain rotation.
We'll do it next week.
We'll do it next week, we promise. But for now, should we just finish this section by ranking them, the 5 guys? So I think that's pretty important in this.
Yeah, you're a field player, so you can go first.
Yeah, so we're going to go for Planky Chan at the top, obviously.
I knew you were going to do that. I absolutely knew you were going to do that.
Cole Palmer. Then Neto. Then Douglas Luiz. And then Anthony Gordon. Because I hate him. In reality, I'd probably have Anthony Gordon second, but because I hate him. He's been.
Everton players.
I'm glad he's a passionate man. You know, he's
probably top, to be honest with you.
But he's actually 5th. Yeah, he's definitely 5th.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's last for me.
Right, JB,
go. Gordon first, Neto second, them two far ahead of everyone else. And then I would look to get them in, but I wouldn't look to get these ones in. Probably Cole Palmer, Luiz, and then Wang.
I'm gonna get booed by the faithful this week. I can tell. First is Cole Palmer, definitely. Won't accept anything else. Second, Douglas Luiz. Third, Anthony Gordon. He is very good and he's in a very good team. Fourth, Hwang. 5th, Neto. That's where I'll go. hate Wolves. 1 goal maximum every game. Just not interested in that, to be honest. Does it just live a little? Just go for
what do you want from your 5 million midfielder? Like a hat trick every week?
No, just 2
A
goals.
goal a week
Just
would be amazing from a 5 million midfielder.
If Palmer gets his penalty and his goal, no dos. It's like it's.
He ain't scored from open play this year.
Yeah.
He might get 3 penalties in a game 1 week. You never know. He's got to seal.
We reckon Dawson might be on pens for Wolves. Maybe he's an option as a defender. I don't know. It's just
I checked Wang's on pens. Probably.
Yeah, I did see this.
I didn't check officially. I just sort of checked in my mind. That's what.
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen him take one.
No wonder his XG so good this year. He's had 4 penalties so far.
I'm not deluded enough to think that anyone actually would follow our information. But if they did tune into this for any information, we couldn't have gone any different there. Like, I've said something, you've gone in the middle, Josh, and then Doyle's done the opposite order to me. Like, what is the point of this?
If we see any of the Faithfuls teams, we'll know who they like the best based on what we've just done there, because we all said the complete opposite. So
my conclusion would be just pick whoever you fancy to the person. Don't listen to us three. Just do what you want. Basically.
Oh my God! I just googled it. Wolves penalty taker penalties. Each out. There you go.
That's enough now. That's enough for Doyle. That's it.
The top result of Google is all you need.
Perfect. Well, we're glad we've settled that one. Neto's is capped at 1 return then. That's good.
Right, let's chat through our teams because we're running very tight on time.
Do yours first, Doyle. I'd imagine yours is less exciting, or maybe it's more exciting.
I'm rolling, I think. Unless anything comes up, I get bored, I'm going to roll.
What have you got?
I've got Johnston in goal, Saliba, Tsimikas, Udogie at the back, which is pretty good. Richarlison, Sterling, Maddison, Salah, Bruno in the middle, and Haaland, Darwin on top. So taking on Villa, which is not good, but is what it is.
Still not fancy putting Anderson in the team for his 15-pointer this weekend?
I know. It's a risk. It's a risk I'm going to have to take. I think unless maybe Udogie doesn't play because he's injured, I get his 15-pointer.
Yeah, I think I'd probably still go Udogie, but it's just funny that Anderson always gets 15 points every week. He's on your bench.
He was on my bench this week, to be fair, and he didn't be great. So.
Nil point this week. Very good.
So you don't fancy not perfect time for you to get rid of Bruno Fernandes this week, surely? The season keeper is over. You're not even tempted.
Look at the fixtures after. They've got the best run of fixtures in the league after this week. Like, I can't believe people are selling, honestly. I think they'll beat City as well. Like they just do well against City. It's
if this wasn't Doyle, surely you can jump off Fernandes and get on Saka this week. Fernandes is playing Man City, and then Saka's got Sheffield United, is it, at home? I mean, this is the week to do it. Clearly Doyle won't do it, Mr. Saka himself, but...
What do you think, Doyle?
Yeah, Saka just continues to get these ridiculous returns, doesn't he, every single week? It's unreal.
Join the ridiculous return fun, it's great. You've got to hope to Sheffield United. You could captain him this weekend if you wanted.
I could captain Bruno, mate. I think I'd rather captain Bruno this week than captain Saka.
There's no helping some people.
People keep saying this phrase, right? That's really upsetting me. Actually, they keep saying Saka is giving the penalties away. He doesn't have the penalties, right? He doesn't. They're not his anymore. He hasn't taken any of the last 3 penalties. He just they're someone else's now, and it's 4 different people in the team, but it's definitely not him anymore. So that he has lost those, and he still looks like he's playing very, very wide to me. But yeah, he's got a good fixture this week, hasn't he?
Very good.
Yeah. But yeah, captain Haaland, I think that's fine. Like you said, Josh, you won't have any ownership, and love that. So yeah, that's where I'm going.
You're not tempted Salah captain?
No, I don't think he's a fine pick. He's
playing okay at the moment, I would say, Salah.
Yeah, he's actually been pretty good as well. But I still think Haaland's a better pick in any given game week. So I still should stick by it. Salah's not going to get a penalty every single game week, despite the fact they've had one for about 10 game weeks in a row now. No Liverpool bias there. I think he's a worse pick than Darwin. Like, I'd captain Darwin over Salah, I think.
You've got your Vice on Salah at the moment, so you need to switch that to Darwin.
Apologies. Yeah, I will change that. I'll change that on stream.
Do you think Salah will be the most capped by miles Doyle this week out of like people who have got both? Yeah. I agree. Miles. I think he will.
Okay, let's move on. Josh, your team?
I haven't got a clue. Yeah, no worries. This week. My defense is really overly good this week. Got Areola in goal with Everton at home, Cash with Luton at home, Powell with Luton at home. Trent's got Forest at home and Gabriel's got Sheffield at home. I mean, I was going to bench one of them, to be honest. How was I going to decide that? It's just like three of them have got over 50% clean sheet probability, and then Trent's got Forest. It looks like a 20-pointer for Trent if he decides to have an attacking week. So, really couldn't decide there. I've got Darwin on the bench at the moment. I think he might not start.
I'd say no. He starts.
I think so.
But they have got. It does depend on what the team will be on Thursday, I think.
Have you not noticed whenever he doesn't start, they don't score any goals, and then he comes on and they score goals.
I'm not disputing that, but again, he made
a 50 starting because of the internationals.
But Diaz had the same situation, and he picked Diaz over Darwin. He does it every time.
That'd be a fitness thing, though. That could be Diaz travels better. There's got so much sports science going on with that fitness. Stuff. I'm really concerned about that. I'm pretty sure it's fitness.
But you love a bit of upside, Josh, right? You got Pau Torres. He's only going to get a clean sheet at best against Luton. 4 points for a clean. And you've got Darwin at home to Nottingham Forest. Even if he gets 30 minutes, he could score 2 goals.
He could do, yeah. He definitely could do.
Punch for the upside there.
To me, the upside...
Benching Darwin's just ridiculous. It's absolutely stupid.
To me, the upside was playing the double Villa defence, because I think like a lot of people play, I want the maximum return against Doyle, for example, who doesn't have any Villa players, you know what I mean, or whatever. I want the max punishment, you know what I mean, into that situation. It's like...
So you got the 0% Darwin, basically. And you've got Villa defence where Cash is 100% owned, roughly, among playing players, aside from me, some idiot. So you're basically getting a Villa player, an extra Villa defender against Darwin. It's just straight up.
Yeah, but I'm not sure what the expected points are there, but I think that's pretty close on expected points.
Stupid. Darwin's the best pick on the game when he starts. He's actually just the best pick on the game.
Point number 2 as well. Surely Darwin ahead of Richarlison, no?
Well, I haven't decided.
You've got a minute's risk, and I
haven't decided what my transfers are going to be this week. I strongly think that Darwin will start on Thursday and not start on Sunday. That's what I think. I think he might go. Yeah,
I will lock anything you want on that.
If he doesn't start on Thursday, then I will definitely be starting him in my team. Right?
If he starts on Thursday, we'll have a bet then. So I think he'll play better.
Yeah, it's interesting, but you did talk about the fitness issue as well, and I do think there is a fitness issue there. Because he is so clearly really good, this season especially, he's looked brilliant. And their clear best front three is Salah, Diaz, Darwin. We've said this for weeks, but he just keeps not starting. It's happened over and over again. It's like such strange.
I think it's only happened after international breaks, aside from the start of the season when he wasn't first choice.
Except for all the games at the start, then all the ones since an international break, and then he started twice. So it's just like
3 times.
It's just a coin flip, isn't it? He might start, he might not start, but I know all my other guys will start. So it's like I'm definitely buying Saka this week. The boos are coming from seat number 3 over here, but yeah, I'm buying Saka. I've got 2 ways to do it. I'm either going to do Bruno to Saka for free, but then I'll flip it back next week. I'll be buying Bruno back next week, 100%. Because he's better. So I'm just playing a fixture thing there because I've got the money, like a little hokey cokey. I think that's quite reasonable. Or JB will be cheering in a minute. I can do Richarlison to Saka, and I'll fund it with Trent to Tsimikas.
Do it now. Don't even wait for Champions League, Europa League, conference football. Ignore it. Lock it in.
Or I could do it the other way around, where I'll do Bruno to Saka this week to play the fixture, then next week do Richarlison and Trent to Tsimikas and Bruno back.
If anyone looks at your team, immediately I would identify you've got too much money in Trent, Richarlison shit. They're the two that needs to come out. And you just said you can get rid of them for Tsimikas, who's cheap, ticking along, and Saka, who's probably one of the best picks in the game. You've got to do it. Got to do it. Please, please, Josh.
It just depends if you want to look yourself in the mirror or not, Josh.
You'll look yourself in the mirror and you'll be looking mighty fine.
Okay, so if I do Richarlison and Trent out, which I think is a decent option. Who do I then bench? Do I bench Bruno for Darwin?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to do that.
I wouldn't even worry. Just get them in the team. Worry about that later, okay?
It is sort of a linked decision though, JB. Like it.
No, it's fine. So whatever you do will turn out better if you get them two in your team. I guarantee you.
I mean, the one thing though, the one thing I want to do is maybe keep Richarlison. Is the way I would put it, right? So maybe I should sell Maddison or Son. What do you think about that?
Oh
like maybe I could keep Richarlison.
Why do we even bother with this?
What about Salah, mate? Salah's past it. Get rid of him.
That's
probably a triple move.
I think Neto and Gordon are a better pick than Richarlison at the moment. Honestly, save yourself $1 million and get them.
Oh, you're too results based, mate. He's been so good. He's been so good.
So bad. I don't know what games you've been watching.
He got subbed off because of Bissouma in last week. I mean, that was ridiculous. He was going to play more minutes than the other two that week.
He's shooting into Rose Ed.
No, he was too close to Rose Ed when he missed that one on the line. That was the problem. It was too easy to hit Rose Ed from there. It was like he needed to be further back so he can put a bit of swerve into it. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I think I might end up keeping Richarlison just for one more week, just to see how it goes.
I just pray we get that team leak and he's not in the team, and then you can do the correct move and get him out on Friday.
If he wasn't in the team, I think Levy would intervene and sack Postecoglou before the kick-off, because I just don't see how he couldn't be at the team. That would be absolutely ridiculous. I think, right, I'm going to tell everyone now, I think I'm going to do Bruno to Saka and roll the other transfer. That's what I'm going to do.
Like it.
And I'm going to bench Darwin Núñez. That's what I'm going to do.
I wouldn't bring him back next week, but that's a good transfer for this week at least.
No, but then I can do.
You change your mind next week when Saka gets 2 goals.
No, but what I can do next week, sorry, to clarify, I can do Richarlison to Bruno next week.
You'll be calling Richarlison after his hat-trick, mate.
Sorry, Maddison to Bruno next week. Sorry.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
I might go for the double up as well, because I might do Darwin to Højlund at the same time, because I want more investment into this Man United attack. I think they're gonna absolutely batter someone soon. So yeah. What about you, JB? And I'm going to captain Saka or Watkins. Is who I'm going to captain.
Are people captain Watkins this week?
I think it all goes to Salah. That's why I asked you just now.
Yeah.
But he has got high EO, so it's not that good anyway. Like, I mean, the low-owned option would be to captain Richarlison, wouldn't it? I mean, that would be the way to get like the advantage on the field.
I think you've got to look at Richarlison from a sort of like forecasting perspective as well. Like the curve is looking really positive from Richarlison. He's gone from 1 point to 6. So it suggests that he's still due at least 11. But I guess if you factor in the multiplier effect, you're then looking at a 15, 16 point afternoon.
Yeah. I mean, you buy low, both in terms of price and points at the moment. Just buy low and then see when it comes good.
Right.
Yeah. Probably captain
Watkins. Okay, let's go to JB.
Anyway, right, on from that shambles.
You look like you can't breathe, mate.
I've got 2 threes.
So how are you getting to Richarlison this week, JB?
So Diaz out for Richarlison, captain. I've got to start saying Richarlison as well. I always say Richarlison, but yeah, he's in for Diaz captain. Sorted. Right, do you want to send us out then, Josh? No, yeah, there's a lot of things I can do. I do really want Salah now, because I think with these 2 fixtures coming up, it's so good. But realistically, unless I want to get Charlie Chukwuemeka in my team to fund Salah without taking a hit, I can't do it. And I don't really want to do that. So I think I'm just going to just going to go for it. I'm going to stick to my guns, and hopefully Salah won't score 2 goals again this week. He'll probably score 3, but we'll just have to deal with that. Looking at my team now, I know Liverpool got some really good fixtures. I think probably now I'm looking at it and thinking the issues, if I have to do something, is get rid of Højlund, because Man United just looked inept at the moment and they're not playing as good as they can as a team. They've got some good fixtures, but I just don't they had Sheffield United this week and they still just scrape through. So I think Højlund's got to go. That will bring my structure back to a 4. 2 up front, sorry, and then I can get maybe Archer in, or just a dirt cheap 4.3 striker. With the money, then I'll use that elsewhere. Thinking maybe Saka in, and I could get Saka in for Diaz. Just security of starts, 90 minutes, just going forward. I know, like I said, Liverpool got some good fixtures, but Saka has got Sheffield United this week. And just going forward, I want Saka in my team. I think he's one of the best picks in the game. So maybe Diaz and Højlund out for Archer and Saka, and then I'll have some money in the bank for whatever comes up.
What did you say you were going to do? Sorry. Diaz
I just will repeat what I've just said for the last 5 minutes.
No,
so,
Diaz and Højlund to Archer and who?
Saka.
Oh, you wanted Saka, okay.
And then I've gone back to my original formation, so I haven't got the 8 forward players basically. And I'll take it the L on the chin there and say that you was probably right that I should have done that. I would still have like 1.5 million in the bank. So
you can't get to Salah though next week.
No, still can't get to Salah. So it's a decision I have to make. I can get to Salah this week if I take a -4. Like I said, I could do Son to Salah and then Diaz to Chukwuemeka, and I can get him in one move. Well, without a hit, sorry. Or I could do
one with a hit, yeah.
I could swing it round and then do -4, and I could easily get him, bring in someone like Neto in.
I think the way you do it next week is...
But I judging from what I saw on Tottenham, I don't really want to get rid of Son either now. So,
no, that's right, because Son's breathtaking, and Richarlison is just the kit man. He's carrying the water bottles on. I don't see how it's a group think thing, I think, but like I don't see how people think one is like the best pick on the game and one is like a must sell absolute rubbish. Like they place the same minutes for the same team and they both look quite lively and they both have similar XGA. It's just like
they have similar XGA, then fine. I haven't checked that. But in the last 6 games, you say about you want players scoring a lot and getting big points. Son got a goal and assist.
He's not got before that, so he can't get points in the future, basically.
A few games before that, he got a brace. He got 2 goals in the game. And then a few goals before that, he got a hat-trick in the game. Richarlison he's getting like 1 assist and that's it. Like, I mean, he's so much better.
He keeps kicking the ball into Rosie. He's going to hit the goal at some point.
I cannot debate this any longer. Look, Champions League football's on now. Kicking off in 1 minute. So I think we should go and scout out Højlund, let him get his hat-trick, and then I can change my plans and keep him for the weekend.
Captain JB?
I didn't actually change it yet. I think on the picture that people see it say Haaland, but I've already been planning it. Probably Watkins, I think. Luton at home.
I'll switch from that. Not Saka, JB.
No, I think Watkins, he's just been on absolute fire. I can't see him not scoring against Luton. So, yeah, maybe Watkins.
I'm a little bit scared about that one. I'm not going to lie.
He's going to have really high EO this week, Doyle. Like, he's really
I think he might crucify.
They've been scoring like 3-4 goals a game. And Luton at home again, they're on a roll. I see a big score coming. I fancy him to score at least 3 goals in that. So, I'm sure Watkins will be involved.
Darwin has a lot of work to do. Okay. Well, let's check out Josh.
No worries. So follow us on Twitter, All in FPL, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, also All in FPL. This will be up Tuesday morning probably. So yeah, Wednesday morning. I'm in holiday mode. Sorry. I still think it's Sunday today, you know what I mean, or Monday or some day that's not the right day, you know what I mean? So
you still think you're down the red light district, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. And as we always do, we'll have the final word as our favourite transfer in of the week. So please bring in Richarlison, and he is brilliant. So thanks, everyone.
See you guys.
Take care. Bye.